Hi everyone, welcome to Dustin, the Blind Minnesotan podcast. Today I'm going to tell you guys what's happening in my life because it's been a month since I released my last podcast episode, and my life has been very busy and chaotic since then. But now that it's starting to slow down, and work is still busy, but my personal life is slowing down. So the first thing I got to catch you guys up on is that Bob's Produce Ranch, where I work on Osborne in Fridley, and if you're disabled, if you want to come by, you can take the 10U bus to Osborne and then walk to my work, or you can take Metro Mobility to my work, or you can take Uber to my work. And what my work does, Bob's Produce Ranch, we sell produce. We sell like cotton candy grapes, tasting grapes, Molly Pop, tasting grapes. We sell apples. We sell pies. We sell pumpkins. We sell squash. We sell a lot of produce, and we sell whatever Mike's Discount Foods across the street does not sell. So Mike's Discount Foods across the street on Osborne is a very famous grocery store for the disabled community. And a lot of disabled people from Minneapolis will hop on the 10U bus, take it down University, get off on Osborne, and then they'll walk to Mike's Discount Foods, buy all their cereals, their non-perishable items at Mike's Discount Foods, and then they'll take their utility carts, walk across the street, and then they'll leave their utility carts at our guest service desk at Bob's Produce Ranch. And then they would go shopping for their produce at our store. And then when they're done, they walk to our customer service desk. They get their utility cart back, and then they load their produce into their utility cart, and they walk out our door, and they walk to the 10U bus stop, right where Osborne and University meet, and then they take the bus back to Minneapolis. The Mike's Discount Foods in Fridley is the best one because it's the largest one, and you have the most food options. And the one in Hilltop's kind of lame, the one in Anoka's kind of lame, and the one in Princeton's kind of lame. So the Fridley one is the best one to shop at, and it's still cheap. That's why a lot of disabled people will take Metro Mobility to Mike's Discount Foods and to Bob's Produce Ranch, and they'll shop at both. They'll take Uber, they'll take the city bus, whatever they can, because our food at between Bob's Produce Ranch and Mike's Discount Foods is way more affordable than what you can find in other grocery stores in Minneapolis. So it's worth the bus ride, it's worth the Uber ride, and it's worth the Metro Mobility ride to shop at my work, Bob's Produce Ranch, and Mike's Discount Foods across the street if you're disabled. So work has been super busy because the high schoolers and the college kids went back to school, and now they're back in school. They barely want to work. So that means I get their hours. So I'm working my hours, my original hours, and now I'm picking up their hours. So me as a blind and visually impaired person, I'm working more hours than most people in our community does. But I'm happy because I'm one of the rare blind and visually impaired people that get to work. Because not a lot of blind and visually impaired people get to experience what I experience, because not a lot of people will hire them because of discrimination. So I'm just blessed that I can work, and someone's willing to hire me. So that's one of my blessings. And I'm also blessed that I found an apartment to live in that's along the 10 bus lines in Columbia Heights. So I can just hop on the 10U bus and it drops me off a block away from work. And I'm blessed that Columbia Heights and Fridley and Blaine have 24-hour Metro Mobility services. So in the winter when it snows and none of the bus stops are plowed in Fridley, I can at least take Metro Mobility 24 hours a day to my job. So at Bob's Produce Ranch. So I'm very blessed. I get a lot of hours. I have job security because the kids are back in school. So, and then, so I'm working a lot. One of my cousins just moved to downtown St. Paul. So if you go to my Dustin Lindberg, the Blind Minnesotan YouTube channel, you'll see my trips to St. Paul because I take pictures and then I upload those pictures to Facebook as Reels and Instagram as Reels, and then I make them into 1 minute and 30-second videos, and then Facebook lets me and Instagram lets me download those Reels onto my phone, and then I upload those Reels to YouTube. So if you go to my Dustin Lindberg, the Blind Minnesotan YouTube channel, you will see the short content. So I went to go see the Capitol building of Minnesota. I'm visually impaired and I can see up to about 20 feet. So because I can see about to 20 feet, as long as I kind of use my phone camera and I zoom into things, I can see things better than most blind and visually impaired people. So then, I went to the Capitol grounds last week, my first time stepping into the Capitol, and you can see my pictures on my YouTube channel in a YouTube short. And so I went there, checked that out, visit my friend's mom that lives in downtown St. Paul, and visit my cousin who lives in downtown St. Paul. And then I've been checking out neighborhoods in West St. Paul, like Highland neighborhood. I've been going to check out the east side of St. Paul, like that Greater East Side neighborhood, the Greater East Side neighborhood in East St. Paul, because it's in the east side of St. Paul. So I go and check out those neighborhoods. Because when your cousin moves to a new city, and you kind of like I know St. Paul by car because when my mom used to live up here in Minnesota and we would go to St. Paul, we would take St. Paul by car. So because my mom can drive, because my mom is full 2020. So then we would go to St. Paul once in a while by car. But now that I'm taking a bus to downtown St. Paul, I'm seeing all these different neighborhoods I haven't seen before. I'm seeing all these good restaurants I haven't seen before. So sometimes on my day off, I will go down there and I'll try one of the new restaurants and stuff. Like last week, the only reason why I went to go see my cousin and my friend and his mom is because on my day off, I had to go to State Services for the Blind head office in northern St. Paul. So and that takes me normally about an hour to get to by bus. And then my friend said, hey, I'm going to hang out with my mom, and in the afternoon, do you want to come with? I said, sure. I just lined up because then I can finish taking the Green Line train to downtown St. Paul to see his mom. And then my friend takes Metro Mobility. He's not a city bus user. He takes Metro Mobility. Then he says, hey, my Metro Mobility is going to pick me up at this time. So then, I stayed with him at Union Depot until that time. Metro Mobility picked him up. And at this point, it was late enough that my cousin was home from work. Then, I hung up with my cousin and in downtown St. Paul. And, we had a few drinks. And then I took the train back to downtown Minneapolis. And then I took the 10 bus home. So then, I'm busy with that stuff. My half-brother just moved into a new apartment up in Blaine called the Arias. So he just moved up there. And so then, I'm helping him get things for his new apartment, and and I helped him move and all that kind of stuff. And then I got myself into a couple new furniture, all that kind of stuff. And because now I'm working, I can now save up money to actually buy myself furniture. So then I've been doing that. And then one of my days off, I went to go, my dad came and picked me up from Bob's Produce Ranch after work one night. And I went out to the Elk River area to see him. I spent the night with him, and then he dropped me off the next day around like 1 or 2 back at home. So then I could go to work the next day. So some days the bus rides home are interesting because there's a big hospital next to my work, and they have a huge mental health ward. So some days when I'm waiting for the bus, the 10U bus, I have people that are talking to themselves, dancing to themselves, stabbing the air at the bus stop with me as I am on my way home. Because out in a suburb like Fridley, all the normal people take Ubers, take their car, or take Metro Mobility. And only the untouchables, they would call them in India, or the very low people who don't even have money for Metro Mobility or an Uber normally take the city bus. So when you live out in Fridley and Blaine, only the craziest people take the city bus because everyone else has access to a vehicle. So then some nights I hear last weekend there was a man and woman who just screaming and punching each other at the bus stop. And I just said, nope, this is not time to call my mom, this is not time to call my dad, this is not time to go on my phone, because me going on my phone can make these people snap and put me in a more dangerous situation. So some days when I'm waiting out for the city bus to take me home, sometimes even when I walk to a bus stop, like a block down, it's full of crazy people because Fridley, Blaine, and Coon Rapids and Anoka have big hospitals for mental health that other hospitals don't want to take. So some nights in the bus, waiting for the bus, I get some very actionist shows. And then some nights when one of my coworkers works at Bob's, when she lives in Columbia, the one that lives in Columbia Heights, sometimes on a Saturday, Sunday night, if she is working, I would just have her drop me off at home because I'd rather pay her money and have her drop me off at home than waiting at the bus stop. Well, one Saturday and one Tuesday, the same lady kept on telling me how she's pregnant, how her baby daddy's in jail, and all that stuff. And it could be true, right? But also the way she was acting, when I first showed up, stabbing the air when there's no one there and screaming at someone who wasn't there, it just tells you that there's something more going on there. And whatever her brain is showing her, she believes it to be true when it's probably not even true. She's probably not even pregnant. So some days when I'm waiting for the 10U bus, it can be kind of weird. So if you're disabled and you want to come work out in Fridley or Blaine or Columbia Heights, where Metro Mobility is 24 hours a day, take Metro Mobility to work, because the 10U bus and the 10N bus it has a lot of wacky people on it. And if you're disabled, you already have difficulties, and then you're putting up with people who even have more difficulties than you. I just take the 10 bus because it's cheap, because I have the dollar one-way pass. And if I take Metro Mobility, that's like $5 to $6 one way, $5 to $6 another way. And then suddenly, I'm spending between $10 to $12 just to get someplace a day. But if I take the city bus, me going to work is $1, me coming home for $1 is $1. So then I'm only spending $2 a day to get to work. So, it's some days at work it's exhausting, because definitely when the days where none of the teenagers want to work and I'm in produce by myself, or none of the college kids want to work and I'm in produce by myself, you're trying to answer questions, you're trying to stock the shelves, you're trying to keep the produce section clean, and it's hard to do that all by yourself, even if Bob's is a small store. So work has been crazy, my life has been crazy. I'm just happy now my brother's in his new apartment up in Blaine, my cousin's in her new apartment, and everything now is starting to slow down, and work is even starting to slow down, because we're not getting as fresh produce at work. So because we're not getting as fresh produce, we're getting more now warehouse produce that you can easily get at Cubs, Target, Walmart. So then now the traffic to our store is dipping, and like some days on a random Tuesday is just so slow that you have to fake to be busy. So then when your bosses watch the cameras, you look good on the camera. So and then I did go to Rosedale the other day. When my mom did come and visit me. And what we did was we took the 32 bus to Rosedale. So we took the 10 bus to Northeast, got off at Laurie, and then we hopped on the 32 bus to go to Rosedale. And then me and my mom and my stepdad, we walked around Rosedale. Rosedale is a big shopping center in Roseville. And people who live in northern St. Paul can easily get there with the A bus. The A bus takes people from northern St. Paul to Rosedale in Roseville. So then we took the 32 bus there. We hung out. We went shopping together. We walked around the mall, and then we took the A bus to the west side of St. Paul, to the Summit Hill neighborhood, and then we walked around the Summit Hill neighborhood, and then we took the A bus back to Rosedale. We got dinner at Rosedale. Then on the way home, we got on the 801 bus that goes from Columbia Heights to Rosedale. So then, we just showed up in time. The bus was about to pull away, the 801 bus, when we caught it. So then, then it took us right to the transit station right next to my place. So it was really, so then, my parents came to come visit. That was a good time. And then let me think. And then I showed my friend Paul slash my friend around the U of M campus, because he's never been to the U of M campus before. So I showed him around the U of M campus, and he had a good time. And he got to see some younger kids. He got to see some frat houses, and I showed him the old retiring part of the U of M campus, where a lot of the professors live, and where they teach and retire, because a lot of those professors are like in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. So then I show them where they lived on the campus, and he had a really good time. I had a good time, and now he knows how he should know how the University of Minnesota looks like. So, and then his mom was a nice lady. My friend's mom was a nice lady, and I would easily talk to her again. And then on my days off, like sometimes I need to go grocery shopping because Bob's Produce Ranch does not sell everything someone needs. So then I go to Target or Aldi's to buy toilet paper, Target or Aldi's to get napkins, Target or Aldi's to get pizza rolls that my work does not sell, and that kind of stuff. Because pizza rolls, there's no local pizza roll company, so Bob's Produce Ranch does not sell them because there's no local company that makes the pizza rolls. So, and then I'm starting to make friends at work. I'm gonna say I wouldn't die for any of my coworkers. Like, I wouldn't go get in the way of a bullet and die for them. But we do respect each other because a lot of my coworkers are over 50 years old. And because they're so old, and then I'm 27, they have an older world view of things. So when I first was hired, a lot of the people over 50 that'd be 75 to 95% of my coworkers, depends on what shift you're working. They did not respect my view and respect my opinion. But now, as I become closer friends with them, they're starting to kind of listen to me, and I'm starting to understand them. So work is becoming a way better connection than how it was when I first started off. And then I like working with the teenagers. A lot of the teenagers come into work after 3:30. I like working with them because some of the teenagers that we have at work, they have ambition, they have goals, they have dreams, and a lot of them are between like 16 and 18 years old. And the teenagers have a lot of hope for the future that I lost as a blind and visually impaired person. I lost hope for the future because I get so much discrimination against that I feel like I'm going to be stuck in retail forever. But with their hopes and dreams and stuff that the teenagers bring in with them when they come to work at the store, it makes me feel better about myself and reminds me of the blessings that I got, because not a lot of blind and visually impaired people here in the United States have even a job. So I'm more blessed than a lot of blind and visually impaired people are. So that's why I remind even when the days are rough, that's what I remind myself of. So, well, guys, that's what's kind of happening in my life so far. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.